On behalf of the Red Cap team, we're really pleased to be speaking with you today. We will get to the pandemic version of Adam here in a second, but let's just start talking pizza. So the growth of Sauce Pizza has been pretty astronomical. It's been pretty big, right?
Yeah, it happened really fast. I think about 7 or 8 days into being open, Dave Portnoy came in and did one of his Barstool reviews. He gave it a 9.1, and he said it was the best slice of pizza that he's ever had. So that review posts, we have this crazy line. We run out of dough. We have all these different problems in the first few days because we weren't expecting to be that busy. But then we kind of got our groove.
What's different about what you all do?
I mean, the flavor of our pizza is a little bit different. You can taste the sourdough starter. So it depends, how much a person geeks out on bread. But I think people who are really into bread get really excited when they eat the crust of our pizza. So since then, we've opened up 2 more pizzerias. And going into this pandemic, we were actually in the middle of doing a deal to be in Yankee Stadium. And we were going to be like the official pizza of the stadium.
So pandemic hits. So there's a very critical moment where you are offered kind of this opportunity to serve others, right, during this time. So talk me through how that happened for you.
It was a crazy week going into it. Perry and I were on a phone call, and he was saying to me, hey, friend hit me up. She was saying that in the hospital, she's been working double shifts because they're getting busier. And now that they closed all the restaurants, they can't get delivery from, their normal spots. So she wanted to see if she could order pizzas up to the unit. This time in New York, it was pretty crazy. There were a lot of people who were showing up at the hospitals who were sick, really sick. So it's like standing there with pizzas. They're like, nobody's, you're not coming in, unless unless we know that you're getting a room or you've been checked out. So that night, I remember sitting on Instagram and watching probably 20 to 30 of my favorite chefs, restaurateurs, guys that I look up to. I think that they're incredible. And every single one of them was posting about what we just went through, letting their staff go. Where's the relief? What are you going to do to take care of this? Kind of firing back at the government and everybody and saying, like, this isn't fair. You need to help us. And my perspective seeing that is like, we can do something. Like, everybody's kitchen is probably, full of food the way that ours was. And there's a real need. My view was, let's support them. Let's put something out on Instagram. Let's say that we're going to deliver 20 pizzas to a different hospital every day. And then we'll give people the opportunity, if they want to buy a pizza for a hospital, we'll match it. We are getting a crazy amount of messages from doctors and nurses who were saying the same thing. Like, I just worked 18 hours. There was, I didn't need anything. From there, everything kind of started to set up. It started like doing like 7 hospitals a day, and then we were doing 15, and then we were, closed another location, and we're doing 30, drops in the course of a day. And we were timing how fast we could get pizza out of the oven.
Give us a big picture here. From the beginning of the pandemic until now, how many pizzas have you made?
Today, I think we're almost at 11,000 that we've dropped off since the beginning of this. So we figure 2 slices is basically a meal. So that's like 44,000 meals that have been dropped since we started.
How are you protecting yourselves? What is the workflow? Is everybody 6 feet apart? Like, I know that's hard to kind of like manage in a small pizzeria space, but what are you guys doing to keep yourselves safe and others safe?
Well, the emergency task force provided us with masks pretty quickly. So everybody on the team has a N95 mask, that they're wearing while they're at work. And then wearing gloves is also a big deal. So everyone's wearing gloves and changing those gloves frequently. We have a team that comes and cleans all the places at night, so that every night everything gets sterilized before we start. And then we set up the schedule so that a bunch of people just never see each other. So the shifts are staggered so that the same people aren't working together. This way, if someone gets sick, we can quarantine that team, which we've had to do a few times, through this.
Yeah, is anything going to change? You guys are now kind of seen as there's like a philanthropic arm of Sauce, in you. Is this going to be something that you guys continue to embrace as a part of your program?
I mean, I've always loved service. This just kind of really like reinforced it for me, how much I love to serve people and to take care of people. And that's what we're doing in our restaurants, when they're open. So, I think it's just to continue along these lines of service and to be looking for opportunities to help, and understanding that whatever I'm working on, there's a great opportunity to help others too. And that when it shows itself up, that we'll do it.
Adam, let's wrap up with this last question. There'll be lots of people listening to this conversation, and they're feeling that feeling we talked about earlier, like, I want to do something. I'm getting inspired to do something. Speak to those people for 20, 30 seconds. What have you learned in the last 5 weeks about giving a damn, about just moving forward and doing something? Just speak to them for a few seconds as we wrap up here today.
I think simple acts of kindness go a really long way right now. So I think when you're paying attention to whatever you pay attention to, whether you're reading the paper or looking at Instagram or on Facebook, there'll be opportunities where you can do something that's good for somebody else. And I think that kind of gets the momentum going in the right way, and those little acts, they definitely, they make somebody's day, and they make a big difference as we all kind of struggle to get through this.
I love it. I love it. That's super helpful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We are rooting for you. We're in your corner. But again, thank you so much for what you're doing.